Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Lana. This is the Lighthouse, 2 words, not one. This is a rune and angel card message and a light worker message. Um, Things are really shifting. We're going through, some of us in a certain collective that this reading is for. There is some kind of a paradigm shift going on. Like it feels like going from one phase of life to another. So we've got the runes here. And we have a numbered message that came through here, which is what was so funny about it this morning when I did it, was because um, I felt compelled to pull the Lightworker deck and got messages in the numbers. So this rune reading is a 2-4-4-2 with 2 at the foundation for the foundation. And I just want to say 24 and 42 are mirror images of each other. So this may be somebody that's mirroring something back from somebody else. You might be feeling a counterpart of some sort. You might be figuring out that somebody has been, is a mirror. You might be the mirror. The other person might be a mirror. You might start thinking about something and realizing that somebody else was mirroring you, and therefore you feel like they didn't have no integrity when you walked away, dropped the friendship, left the job, moved away from the neighbor, and whatever way that this is going to resonate for you, for whoever this message is for. So the first 2 rings we've got you are now moving and success in seeing light in the situation. We've got the movement rune, and we've got Soilu, which is success. So it's also the rune of light, enlightenment, and seeing something you haven't seen before. Okay, and because of that, you are now seeing some truth in something, and you are now shifting because you're no longer focused on it. If you were focused on it for a while, you're like, it's time to leave this behind, which is going to shift, give you that paradigm shift, because we got Hathurius here, which is deciding to leave the past behind and going through your open doorway. Okay, so in the meantime, when you do this, it causes energies to shift, and there may be a small tower moment, but it feels like it's not. It either opens your eyes to something, or it or maybe some certain way you feel, but it's something kind of like it's impersonal, but you just observe it as you go along. Okay, because haggle is something that you see something different after it happens, but it doesn't always necessarily mean it's something that happens to you. Sometimes it can be some kind of aha moment when you see something happening to someone else. Oh, I did realize that I was seeing what I really was seeing. I was, right? But it's not pertaining to you, but it's just something you were observing, and then you just had that aha moment, right? But it wasn't actually something pertaining to you. Now, also, we are going into the foundation of, or an internal feeling here of when you have that aha moment of something else that happens around you, you start to heal. You also find your strength, and you shift more onto the path of the spiritual warrior. You are becoming more of a spiritual warrior. Maybe your angels are stepping in, you're listening. I don't know if y'all can see those or not. Let me try turning on overhead. Okay, so you've got the healing strength rune here and cheer, which to me is talking about more directly, maybe even cutting off. Okay, yeah. So they're saying cutting off different energies that were no longer cutting off and walking away from energies that are no longer suitable to who you're becoming. Okay, because we then have this opening up. Okay, this door opens up, this light comes in with the Kina's rune. You can now see the path a little more clear. And I'm also picking up something about, because this is the material rune, Othello, ancestral lands, but I feel like your ancestors are also coming in and standing with you while you're going through this open door, because then we have birth and release from stress. So either an ancestor has come in to show you something, or as you're seeing the light, you're aligning with an energy of your ancestors who were determined that the truth become known no matter what. So even if it takes time, okay, you got the release from stress. The ancestors are in something, maybe even something that's in your family, of something your family's always done, of telling the truth, or acting or being truthful in some sort of way, okay? Which is causing a breakthrough, and then movement, or an actual physical or allegorical movement of your soul and how you're seeing things, okay? And that's the other 4. Now, the interesting thing is when I pulled the runes after that, I didn't get anything. And I said, well, what's the base of the message then? We got Lghwks and we got Manus. And I heard in my head, a flow to yourself for wholeness. So, whatever this truth is that comes out, or this movement and success, okay, you are now flowing towards who you're going to be in the future. And you're coming back to yourself in some way, and you're gaining your power back. All right? So then I asked the angels, I said, well, give me some angels that that will also help make sense of some other things that I can, maybe whoever this message is for, you could actually focus on. So we got flow, forgiveness, self-love, intuition, peace, and commitment. Okay? Which, this is flow. Okay? Which is actually at the base of the reading, right? So we've got flow. This is a reminder from your angels to trust in the flow of the universe and to always follow your intuition. Intuition came up as well, okay? When making decisions. So this deciding to leave this past behind might also have something to do with that there too, okay? When you make this decision, you get a little bit more clarity, okay? Which also could cause this haggles moment. Maybe you've been believing a lie that's not true. Maybe you've been believing something that's not true, or you see somebody else coming to their senses about something you know the truth of, and see healing coming. But it also, even though it's not about you, maybe in some way you figure out that you were right about something, okay? And it brings this strength and this healing and this inner moment just going, yeah, I know that's true, okay? So with positive changes and opportunities on the horizon, now's a great time for you to take action and move forward in your life, which is the flow, okay? So some of you, I feel like this is where you were believing that lie, or believing something that wasn't true, or hanging on to something of the past that you needed to move out of. And so then she's got the light, and she's stepping forward. See how she's stepping forward? Okay? She's been in the dark. Now she's in the light, and she's stepping out saying, I'm leaving this behind. More flow is opening up because you are now pivoting and seeing a way of leaving something in the past behind. And maybe it's even something to do with forgiving yourself because you believed it for so long. Okay? The door to my heart opens inward. I move through forgiveness to love. The angels want you to remember that self-forgiveness doesn't happen overnight. You need to approach it exactly as you would approach forgiving someone else, with a lack of ego, a compassionate heart, and a patient and preserving mind. So if you were believing this lie and you suddenly see it and have that aha moment, the angels are saying you need to forgive yourself. Do not hang on to shame. Do not hang on to something that you weren't sure of, or that you didn't see, or someone else was trying to make you believe. Because in the end, the only person you're responsible for is yourself. And if you've been hanging on to any kind of resentment or something of feeling ashamed about something, it's time to let that shit go. Let that shit go. Forgive yourself. Because, guys, every lesson, even at my age, in your 60s, 70s, as long as you're still getting up every day and moving around, there's still lessons to learn. So if you learned a lesson you feel like you should have already have learned, it's totally fine to, now the time is right to forgive yourself. All right? So then we have the self-love and the intuition. Loving yourself first. You have to love yourself first before you can do anything else. See all the light coming in around this angel? Okay? If you don't love yourself first, it's really kind of hard to love other people. You cannot constantly give all the time, okay? And you need to follow your intuition in whatever way the angels are guiding you. So the self-love says, I'm worthy of love. Focus your attention on loving and believing in yourself. Because if you don't love yourself first, you cannot pour from an empty cup. All right? You're being encouraged by the angels to make your relationship with yourself your number one priority, rather than dwell upon your shortcomings. Guys, we all have shortcomings. Rather it's something shadowed. Like I recently saw something that was in my shadow self that I did not realize I had. And I was like, wow, I need to let that go. Anybody seen the movie The Help? Okay. Octavia Spencer won an award. I think Viola Davis did. And this movie's set in Jackson, Mississippi, and I'm from Mississippi. And I realized watching that movie, I was ashamed of where I'm from because of how people acted in the past. They treated these people horrible that were taking care of their kids and all kind of stuff, right? And I was just like, wow. As far as I know, my family never had help. We've always been the workers, right? So I thought about those that did have everything. Did they treat people that bad? I mean, these were free people that were working for a paycheck, and they treated them like crap, you know? And the things they said in front of their face and behind their back, and I'm just like, oh my God, we all bleed red. I don't care what color you are, you bleed red, right? We're all human. I don't care what color you are, what your race is, your anything. So loving yourself, okay? Everyone has parts of themselves that they want to disown, that they don't want to admit to, or something like that, right? But you should love yourself in all parts of you. The parts you don't like, change them. The only person that has power over the change is you, okay? So accept and embrace who you are, even the bad as well as the good. Get help. Decide to change it. Do something about it. Just don't cry over it, okay? Intuition. Your angels are sending you signs to help validate your intuitive hunches. The next time intuition alerts you, like maybe that's where this 3 is coming in, where you've been believing something that's not true. And it opens up, your ancestors are coming in. Maybe it's time to embrace that, right? Listen closely, realizing this is your angel guiding you to something great or leading you away from something. Again, that's that haggles and that strength and that breakthrough and that traveling on and coming back to yourself. So this just feels overall like somebody is letting some shadow aspect of themselves go, or letting go of some part of themselves that is no longer true to the person they're becoming on their spiritual path. And your angels are wanting you to be aware of all these energies, the flow, the forgiveness, the self-love, the peace, the commitment, that you are capable of having those in your life. And you are totally capable of forgiving yourself for anything that you've been holding on to that you didn't realize, rather it be shame or the way you saw some situation or some kind of a lie, or maybe somebody told you a lie about you, and you looked at it and you were like, after, you believed it for the longest time, then all of a sudden you realized one day you heard something and you went, well, you thought about it and you were like, wait a minute. Did I used to believe that? Maybe I did. Maybe it's time to examine that. Okay? Because sometimes you can hear something that somebody else says to someone, or see a movie, or read a book, or hear a conversation at work or at school, and realize maybe you have an issue with that. Sometimes when the light bulb goes on, guys, it's time to look at it, So angels are leading you to or away from something. They're wanting you to trust that intuition. So if they're leading you away from something or some way that you felt about yourself, or a lie that you were believing, it's time to walk away from it. Find your peace and recommit yourself to what you want to bring out in your reality, in your future. Okay? So the peace card says, nothing can disrupt my peace. You're being reminded to bring peaceful priority in your life. Practice peace every day in quiet thought, deep meditation, or in serene action. Use the power of peace to make your life a thing of rhythm and grace. Guys, everybody needs time out. Take the time out to sit with yourself with no phone, no music, no nothing. Even just go sit out on your front steps or your back steps and listen to the universe. Find peace around you, because nobody's going to give it to you. You have to realize that you deserve it, and to take the time out to do something for yourself. Okay? Commitment. My thoughts, action, words, and deeds support my commitment. The angels ask you to evaluate your commitments to others carefully as you enter this new phase. Get rid of anything that weighs down your spirit. This could mean leaving draining jobs, commitments, or habits behind, or people. People, to me, sometimes have proven to be the biggest drain on us. Okay? Rather, you find that you're too giving and people are always taking advantage of you, or you've now decided to do something new and people keep interrupting your time and your space. Tell them to go the hell home. I have one friend, anything she wants to do, she'll be in the middle of it. People come knocking on her door, and instead of telling them, I'm busy, she lets them in, and then she puts her project on the side. And she keeps doing that. I keep telling her, you need to not do that no more. I said, you need to tell them to go the hell home. And she just refuses, and I'll tell her, okay, I've stayed 10 minutes. I just wanted to check in on you, see how you're doing. I'm going to go home now. So whatever you got planned and going on, you can go take care of. Okay? I keep my time in her house very short, because everybody else comes in and sits for hours, and she doesn't make them go home, and I'm not going to do that too. Okay? I just want to check in, make sure she's okay, and say, okay, I checked on you. We had a conversation. Now I'm going home. And I love her to death. She's got a great sense of humor. Okay? So then when I pulled the runes, I laughed. Or pulled I just had this sudden idea to pull maybe the light workers what the light workers might be thinking or feeling. And I shuffled the cards, and then when I split them, I laughed. That was when I paid attention to the numbers. Messages and numbers. And we got 2442. So, and that's a mirror image, right? So maybe something's being mirrored back to you. And maybe you're now realizing, or maybe you're realizing something that you thought was closed off, or or something that some door you need to walk through, where you're listening to your intuition. Okay, guys, I had to cover up with tape because she's not clothed, and we can't do that on YouTube. Okay, so this is shifting into a different kind of energy. Again, we've got that here with the haggles and maybe you might even walk away from some people that really create some chaos because they don't understand why you did it. All of a sudden, they want to create some kind of they start doing or saying things around you to make you feel like crap. And you're like, I'm just not going to deal with that no more. Okay? And you walk away. Okay? And then you see them, hear about them doing things, and you're like, well, I'm no longer around, so it has nothing to do with me. Right? Or you see or hear something later, and you go, yeah, I knew that was a lie. You know what I mean? And sometimes we just keep our own counsel. Keep your own counsel on this one, I would suggest. But I just think there's several different ways you can see this energy coming up. Rather you seeing a lie or something, or seeing certain numbers come up, and feeling that energetic shift, okay, and coming back to yourself on something that maybe you weren't even seeing. It could even be something, like I said, that you weren't seeing about yourself, a way of feeling, or from something that happened a long time ago when you were a kid, and all of a sudden going, that's not me anymore. Why is that still holding me back? And you hadn't thought about it in a long time. Well, I did that when I was a kid. But maybe when I do this, it's kind of sort of the same thing, but it's in an adult form. Maybe some form of the way you've been living your life needs to die for you to step into your spiritual path, okay? For that paradigm shift to happen. So then we've got Star Child and Cosmic Heart, and I'm going to grab these two and show them to you. Okay, so this is, with the Star Child here, that's also the star seeds coming into the reading, okay? And the Cosmic Heart, Cosmic Christ, which I'm going to grab this, well, it was right here. There it is. I'm going to read y'all just the main parts of this. So, Star Child, the light of the stars exists within you. I don't know where my glasses went to now. They probably got knocked off on the floor somewhere. Alright, no, there they are. Okay. The earth wants you to share the light with humanity. So this is an 8 card, Star Child. Okay. She's got all the plants around her, water coming through her hands like a waterfall. Everything's in bloom on the earth. Okay. The earth wants you to share that light with humanity. You're asked to understand you're meant to be here, but you have spiritual work to accomplish, and give up on the idea you belong somewhere else. Let the starlight of your inner being shine here on earth, where it shall make such a positive difference in the world. Fall in love with earth's beauty. She can and will support you in all ways. Okay? Grounding yourself here on earth enables you to fulfill your life mission. You have to feel like you belong here. The challenge for a star-seeded soul to accept human beings as they are, without despairing over their dark side. That could be that lie. Okay? It can be channeled to energize. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. The violence may frighten you, but your love will help humanity learn to use that violence to dismantle old structures and create new ways of being. It can be channeled to energize humanity with a can-do attitude. Remember, you came to this place to learn and help heal others. You can assist both the earth and humanity to evolve their frequency. There are 3 truths that will help you embrace your journey on this planet. You carry the purity of your star ancestry. There's ancestry, guys. At any time, you often return to your star-born home during sleep. Secondly, you're so filled with love, you're capable of loving all on this planet. You have compassion even for those who are very wounded and fearful, and at times act out in ways of violence, cruelty, and ignorance. Human capacity for courage, compassion, and light is increasing. You're part of a team of love-light beings. As a star-seeded being, you have special resources for your journey. Your every spiritual request and need will be met by a loving team of helpers. We got that in the Council of Light last message. You get to have a lot of fun in your healing mission if you so choose. It doesn't only have to be hard work. Well, sometimes it will be. Just remember, the stars shine with joy, and you can shine as a star with joy upon the earth. This is your nature. That's how you will fulfill, how you can best fulfill your life mission. So then we got Cosmic Heart, and it's actually a 27, which 2 plus 7 is 9, which is a goddess number, right? 27. Okay, 25, 26, 27. Right after the key of light, which is an Archangel Michael card. You're elevating your vibration towards the frequency of limitless supply and unconditional love. Spiritually, you're reaching for a high level of attainment. So that also could be this haggle is in this going, and this opening up in this foundation too, guys, with new birth. Could mean the same thing of this getting a higher level of attainment, okay, through ancestry and opening up of, okay. Past pain and self-defeating behaviors, letting go of something about yourself, right, shall no longer have a place in your heart. Christ consciousness is an expression of divine love that comes straight from the universal heart. Guys, this is what they call it, but it's not just, to me, it's not really a religious thing. But what did Jesus teach? Jesus taught to love everybody, right? So it triggers a transmutation and evolution to a absolute that we are irrevocably changed. Will become an embodied expression of pure divine will and an unwavering expression of divine love for all who are in need. It can take lifetimes to complete. There will be tests of forgiveness. It's easier to forgive when you don't harbor resentment at natural limitations, which is like being angry at the sun for not shining at night. Natural laws prevail. Guys, that feels like this is just repeating what's here on the table in the rooms. You know? That's really what that feels like. Compassion allows forgiveness to flow more easily. We've got the forgiveness card up here too, guys. So this is test of power. You'll become more powerful. How you can use that power to help or hinder others and to manipulate them through fear or encourage them with love. Guys, there are going to be some people out there that as they become more powerful, they're going to manipulate through fear. It's just going to be a fact, because not everybody really does want to help people, wants to help people to grow. Some people are going to, and there's people right now that, in different ways, that act like they're helping other people, but really they just want to dominate. You think about it. You think about everything you see and hear, all kinds of media, TV, media, you just think about it and you'll see what I'm saying. Or you'll understand. So, you can nurture on your path, or you can relentlessly criticize yourself for your errors. You can claim your power comes from some superiority you possess, or you can see yourself as a surrendered vehicle, animated in purposeful action through the grace of the divine. You're just as much of love as anyone else on this planet. When you are feeling diminished or drained, you've been pulled out of the higher frequencies of peace. There's the peace card. And kindness to yourself. Become trapped in unforgiveness or power games. Christ calls you now to receive his love for you and allow your own heart to feel the grace and healing of this. Or you can say source, the spirit of the divine. Okay? Or your own chosen religion. Because it's all higher vibration, right? It can be a challenge to learn to love another in a way that doesn't harm you. Perhaps you learned that love is about making yourself less in order to make another feel like more. That's not love, guys. We're all equal, okay? If somebody always wants to keep you under their thumb to have power over you and then tells you they love you, that's not love. That's narcissism. All right. Your heart deserves to experience real love. Claim this for yourself. Embrace the higher expression of love within you. You have as much right to experience love, respect, and forgiveness as another. You don't have to suffer to grow now. You just need to let love flow. Ta-da! Right? Forgiveness. This card just mentioned all of this, and this is like the last card of the reading. Self-love. Intuition. Peace. Commitment. All summed up at the card at the end of the reading. All right? Well, the card at the end of the reading that I pulled, I'm going to pull a couple more cards, guys. I think this is an awesome message. This is flowing back to yourself. Stepping into a whole new phase. Oh, actually, I think it's the other way around, right? Flow back to yourself. Letting go of something that's no longer serving you. Seeing things in a new light. Being lit up by spiritual love. Spiritual path forward. Lit up by the love of the spiritual warrior within yourself, and loving yourself in all parts of yourself. Self-love is so important. Okay? You cannot pour from an empty cup. And using your discernment is an important part of that. So I'm just going to pull just a couple of these healing cards right here from the Rebecca Campbell deck. This is like my favorite deck. One of my favorite decks. That and Well, I got about 4 or 5 of them that are my favorite decks. All right, so let's see. What else? What else would you like to end the reading with? Angels, ancestors. Guide my hands. Guide these cards. Ease. Be open to change. Go with the flow of life. Again, we've got the flow there. Allowing what is, inventability and trust. Body care. Take a breath. Come out of hiding. Embrace who you really are. Let it go. Release, forgive, soften, and move forward. Compassion and kindness. All right. Use your voice. Expansion and freedom. Trust the inner call. Soul team. Reflecting with this commitment card. Reflecting. Reflect. Reprioritize. Maybe you need to look at loving yourself a little bit more, to go with the flow more. Even the whales know. I always feel like this is whale energy. Like even the whales know. Even the whales feel the, I heard voluntary shift. So this is voluntary. Thank you, angels. I'm grateful. This is something you have to do voluntarily. Nobody's going to try to make you to become more of a spiritual warrior. And guys, sorry to say, but you know, it's absolutely true. Sometimes you have to walk away from people, places, and things, even things that you love, because they're no longer, it's critical that you do, because they're no longer suitable to the person you were and the person you're becoming on this path, with this breakthrough in this journey. Things are opening up for the spiritual warrior. And the closer we get to February, the more that's going to become aware to a lot of people. Because I think, I forget what the astrologer said about what happens in February, but that's really when Aquarius, the age of Aquarius really begins. So this is something that's building and growing over time. Okay? So, y'all just keep aware of that, because some, okay? Okay. So, they're also saying that there are some that are going to come crashing down to the earth with a bang. That, how can I say this? Some that have been believing some lies that are not true. Something is going to come along in the next month, 2 months, that some people, when they run into that truth of whatever that truth is, or a lie that they've been believing, are going to be brought down to earth in a real fast hurry. Like, boom. And all of a sudden, you just know, you know. Or something happens that you just go, I've been believing a lie, right? Or there's some truth that's been trying to express itself to you, and your intuition, and your peace of mind and everything that you've been needing to see that you just haven't been seeing. And something's going to happen with that hagglers. Even if it's not something close to you, but it's something you're going to see that's going to just really make you come down to earth and open up in some sort of way. Okay? But you do have ancestors there to help you with this. So this is all about flowing back to ourselves in a way that, and something changing up that either is a lie about ourselves that we're believing, a lie about a situation or something else. And once you see it is when this movement, when you start moving and getting that enlightenment, when you have that aha moment, everything's going to open up a lot more, because I feel like you're going to then be moving into a more peaceful way forward, even if it's painful to do so, because that's what growth is all about. All right, guys. I hope this message resonated for some of y'all. Leave me a comment down in the comment down in the comments. How you felt about this, and if you're already seeing this, because this could be past, present, or near future energy for anyone. Okay, and until next time, love and light, guys. This is the Lighthouse.